rotate on out of here. Hype and Serpent don't want the fight. And that's Jay now quite weak. With Storm Surge beginning to tick in. Quentin and Lanouf now having to push a fight as Storm Surge is affecting them as well. And you see it just kind of smites them down from the heavens, and there they go. Getting dropped by Storm Surge. Unfortunate for them, but again, with not enough damage done, they do fall below that threshold.
Jeez, man, Storm Surge really does just force people into some pretty tricky situations. But again, man, it just goes to show a lot of aggressiveness is going to pay off for teams, man. You don't want to be put in that situation where, you know, you have to desperate and push. Maybe a duo that's better than you in combat. You know what I mean? And Airwax and Nikov.
That's a replay.
Was that a replay? They just went down.
Airwax and Nikov are winners. Well, Airwax at least are back-to-back winner of the Pro-Am. Does go down. Airwax double qualified as well. Tough first game for them as they do go out quite early on. 71 players.
Nades. So that's going to be, I mean, if you can get in a position where some players are already going to be focused on the outside, 8 grenades, you might be able to clean up those kills too.
Yep, that's right there. They do box up in time. Did take some shield damage, but thankfully they have some minis to replenish that in just a few brief moments as there's Eclipse now using them. He's got his teammate right next door as well. Medkit, so they're going to pop that too. Every little bit of HP matters. Saving the campfire for the late game, it appears.
Ronaldo save the campfire.
In the elimination feed right there. Here's a look at Mongraal earlier with his duo Mitro. They're set up currently in this zone. 68 players left.
Love watching this guy play, man. I'm serious. I mean, here's, you just check his inventory. Only got 2 guns right now, which is inventory on a combat shotgun, so he has no spray guns. All right, spray guns are, you know, anything like to an SMG, tactical assault rifle, or anything like that. You know, you've got to have a gun that can shoot pretty quickly to kill players and hit players through their 1-bys. You know, very difficult. And look at that healing too, though. Yeah. 5 slurps, 2 slurps, 5 chug splashes.
They already have a slurp ticking. This is insane.
They're super close to the zone as well. They don't have to move too far.
Yep, and material-wise, look at that, 135 total builds. They're in a fantastic position to make some noise in game number 1. We'll definitely keep up to date with them. The slipstream slowly inching towards where it begins to shut down Ninja, but with so many slipstreams still available in this current zone, a lot of players are going to use that to rotate on in freely without using launch pads or the shadow bombs. There's your whole map right there. The eastern side of the zone. None of these players are really going to be into play. They're going to have to inch a little bit more towards Loot Lake if they want to be safe.
Some of the best, I mean, look, these are the best players in the world, and look how close they are to one another, man. I'm so excited when they actually have to force into these fights. The Storm's going to start pushing them. Look how, I'm sorry, man. I just can't, man. You guys notice also, Stinks, man, these players are so talented. It's going to be so hard to spray through their walls and actually deal damage to them. So you need things like grenades, like Stinks, right? Little fart bombs is what I like to call them, to force people out of their 1-by-1s and try to shoot them as they're rotating away and trying to build new 1-by-1s to dodge the Stinks.
You see the Stinks right now going down on Mongraal. And Mongraal gets immediately ripped in two as it seemed like the lobby began to focus him right there. His duo still alive.
With good rotation, luckily.
Definitely has a bunch to, you know, to be able to play with. The next Storm Surge has begun to kick on in. Mitro, 12 damage below, will have to begin to put shots down range. The zone pushing as well. So in this position, with the zone at their back, Mitro's goal, spray players who have to push from the zone. They have one way they can go. They can't afford to take storm damage. They've got to push right at him, and Mitro knows that. Now begins the fire. Dubs just below as well. One of the players who qualified multiple times through solos and then once in duos.
They also have some great rotation. 2 ballers still intact. And here's the thing that you just mentioned, all these players who are going to be rotating in, being forced to rotate in, everyone knows that.
Very little ammo though. Look, these are the last 9 assault rifle shots in Dubs' inventory. It is getting scrappy, folks. And there's the split. Still though only 80, meaning combined between the two. They really only have about 150 shots to work with. The zone still pushing. 61 players left. Reminder, folks, this is game number 1 of 6 today in the duos competition. Dubs does go down as a player got that back wall. He wasn't quite ready for it. Mega frantically backing on up, trying to create some space. Will he be able to go?
He's going to be able to pop that slurp. He's got
the Storm Surge on.
Trying to be aggressive. Oh, he's still below, right? He's going to need to be aggressive. He won't even have time to revive his teammate. His teammate got finished, actually, so he's got all the shields in the world. He can get back up to full health. Storm Surge is still ripping him apart. That slurp is barely keeping him alive.
Hitting him for 25 damage every time it winds up ticking. There it is again, dropping on in. Mega's hand is forced. Some big damage right there, still below. as players are continuing to drop all around. But Mega doing a solid job of keeping himself alive right now through this storm surge. Fantastic composure. Again, one of the young players on this stage looking to try to secure the title of Fortnite World Champion. No more dubs. The duo
Still
okay,
down.
So now
finally above. Finally above. And guess what? The most important thing to realize, guys, look at that rotation. Yes, he's alone. Yes, his teammate's down. But he has an incredible kit to not only make it to late game, but maybe even clutch this win out. He dropped the shotgun.
Okay, there you go.
Got the combat shotgun, one of the greatest shotguns to have late game. Does incredible damage, long range and close range. And all the guys, the circle just rotated now into the storm. Massive amounts of distance needs to be covered.
This storm surge is insane. It's still going on.
Finally taken out 52 players left. And this is where things are about to get serious, guys.
Thomas dropped some ammo right there for his teammate, Inclusia. And you see, Thomas, that epic infantry rifle, one of your favorite weapons, Ninja. What is so good about that assault rifle?
It 100% rewards pinpoint accurate players, right? There's no bloom necessary. Your marker, your aim is right on their head, boom, you're gonna get that headshot. You're gonna get 80 points of damage. And there's now the upgraded versions, the Legendary and the Epic, have 10 shots instead of 8. So I mean, it just packs a punch, man. It can really catch players off guard, and that's exactly what you're going to need when you're playing against these top players who will literally build and protect themselves when they get shot once.
Folks, there are 45 players left in this very, very small zone. We are now on our 6th storm. You see it's about to begin to move, and players will frantically have to go across the map. Zayt and Saf right now discussing exactly what they should drop, pulling up their map, looking exactly where they have to go. 44 left in this one.
We already got people using shockwave grenades, guys. This is a very far rotation for the second movement circle. So this is actually going to move very quickly. These people are going to potentially get stuck on their launch pads because there's so much frequent building. It's going to be nuts. And who's going to try to take the high ground? Because after this first circle goes, this is where people start to only try to use the high ground.
We know high ground is everything in competitive Fortnite late game. Everyone frantically moving away from the common enemy of everyone, which is that storm circle. Macwood taking zone damage. Daedra as well. King slowly bouncing on through with the shadow bomb, and does land. Yes, but taking no storm damage, just playing right on the edge. Yeah, right on the edge of the zone right now. Will just stay boxed up for a brief moment. As now there's 36 players remaining, stomping the elimination feed. Arkram now goes down as well. You can see the elimination feed on the top left to keep track of your favorite players. There's so much is going on. This is what tunneling is. When you hear players mention tunneling, this is it right here. You move with the zone, you tunnel your way in, give yourself cover, but not a lot of materials left. Only 22 builds, and this zone is stacked. But look who's on the high ground. It's Mr. Savage and Benji Fishing.
That would be your 2 picks, so good for you. All right, I have to owe you a bet there, man. What's that? All right. Mongo, unfortunately, do we still have Mitro's still alive? I mean, listen, people are dying left and right, being eliminated. More Savage just used another shockwave grenade. He already had high ground, though. The question is, are people going to try to take it? You know that if you really want the chance to win this, you're going to have to try to take the high ground off him or have a rocket launcher to just take him out of it.
He's just so weak, and Mr. Savage just looks up and beams the player out of the air. It's all Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage in the elimination feed right now. 24 players left in this one, but 20 duos. There's almost no duos remaining, Ninja.
Right, it's all solos, and this is kind of what's going to happen, man.
Mr. Savage goes down.
It's up to Benji, and listen, Benji's been in this position before. We know he can handle it. Nitro's still in the game as well. I just saw him. He looks incredibly healthy, but now taking some storm damage. Benji's just going to try. Look at the materials. Not a lot left. They're only using their shadows. I think he has 1 build left.
Yep.
That's it. That's all he has.
He's got 10 total builds.
10 total builds.
He's just trying to outlast as many players as possible. Remember these placement points. We made it into our top 10 duos. Now into our top 8. Zayt and Saf now. Zayt and Saf now on the high ground.
This game.
One of the few, the only duo left. This has a Zayt and Saf win written all over it. Mitro, Mongrel's duo, was all by himself very early on, still alive in this one. 40R Storm now getting beamed. Can the North American duo of Zayt and Saf close this out? Raining down fire from up top. You see the frantic builds coming in. Benji Fishy goes down. Mega, Mitro, and Scarlet on the low ground. Shots still coming on in. Zayt and Saf just sitting pretty.
Mitro just got a double, I think. 5 limbs.
Tries to get it done, not enough. Zayt and Saf. 2 versus 1. Will they take game number 1? Yes, they will.
Zay and Sap had the high ground, and they used it the entire game. Rain, fire from above. We're able to make up 5 limbs plus 10 placement points. That's going to be 15 points. Game 1.
Talk about a monster game number 1. You saw the immediate reaction. They know how key that was. And I've watched so many games of competitive Fortnite, Ninja. They were the only duo left with still like 18 players remaining. When they get the high ground like that, they send one player down to get close. Scarlet was already weak, and there's just no shot. In the end, the veteran players of Zay and Sap take game number 1. And you know, Ninja, that was a big...
What is this?
Absolutely.
To get some good rotation items. I'd love to see how they're going to play in the late game, man.
Placement points is so key. You have Sean had done 680 damage in the game. The average in the lobby was 80. They were 600 above in this lobby already. Unfortunately, though, you fight that much, there's a higher chance of you going down. Speaking of potential fights, here's Sislucky and Brush, who we saw earlier on in the last game in Fatal Fields struggle to stay alive. Now in another tough spot as they're both low on shields and low on health.
Decent rotation items, 2 shadows and a launch pad. Again, I always want to keep stressing that because if you guys have some launch pads, even one shadow can get you into another zone. Right?
Yep.
It's going to hopefully get you those placement points that you need, or even put you in a position to get some eliminations. But yeah, as you said with Aiden, we mentioned earlier, are people going to change how they're going to play, right? Are they going to do anything different here at the World Cup? And guess what? I'm pretty sure we can say that Aiden squad is not doing anything different. They're being incredibly aggressive. They're putting the damage down. And unfortunately, there were just too many players who took advantage, but they were weak.
And that was the top 5 leading into this game. You see it updated again right there on your screen of where the leaderboard is at the moment. Mitro and Mongrel staying alive,
in a great spot,
holding this pyramid edit. And for people at home who might not know, he's not exposed right there, right, Ninja? He's peeking through his build.
Correct. As you guys are moving through a pyramid, you hit edit on it. You cannot be seen, right? But you can also see through it. It's a very amazing feature. Fortnite Battle Royale.
What a Battle Royale, the ultimate Battle Royale experience.
Ultimate Battle Royale experience, man. Blue T is in the storm, taking damage, a lot of damage, and he's still going to be rotating. Road taking damage as well. Thomas gonna have to make some plays. And there goes Road. He actually just got knocked. 66 players remain, and this storm is kind of moving a little bit away from Pleasant Park. But it's once you have a high ground mountain in play, I mean, I'm wondering if it's going to go north.
There's 3 high ground mountains in play, and
really mixes it up late game.
A drone ship that people can wind up going on top of, and those are brilliant to use.
Oh, absolutely. If you guys can get up on top of those, guess what? You have ultimate high ground on the map without having to place any mats.
Yep.
It's incredible. You can't get sniped from above, and you can deal as much damage as you want. Also, it's incredibly difficult to shoot players that are up there.
100%.
But it's important to know that after the 5th circle closes in, those air vents will stop working. So if you don't have any rotation to get down, glide or redeploy, anything like that, yikes. That's a massive yikes. So you have to pray that someone puts a launch pad down underneath it somehow.
Yep.
And go for it.
Yeah,
just risk it all.
Most of these teams will mess that up. Now, we talked about our Game 1 winners, the team that took home the Victory Royale, which is, again, 10.
Are they the yellow team in the mini-map? I mean, they're close enough for sure.
In your inventory, where you are at, the leaderboards as well. If I'm in a position where I know I need to make some ground up on the leaderboards,
see, they're marking right now. I think they have a double heavy sniper combo.
They're either marking double heavy or they're saying, focus this, the zone's closing there.
We're gonna find out soon enough. It literally looks like he's marking exactly. He's trying to look and see. Yep,
they do have a double heavy sniper. And Ninja called it, the man knows. They see one, and oh!
You guys saw the pyramid. It's exactly what Jack talked about earlier. You need 2 walls, 2 layers protecting you from one of those walls, so that double sniper will not.
But they've got the tools, the key to open all doors, as I put it. And this zone, Ninja,
it just moved over a mountain, man.
It just moved onto the side of the mountain, so high ground will be in play. But at the same time, Ninja, half of the low ground still in play, so it's not as bad a position for the low ground players. Here's a look at Mongrel and Mitro. Remember, Mongrel did go down early on in the last game. He's got to back on up because he's burning through materials very, very quickly. They're far above this storm surge, so they're good for the moment. And there's the replenish from his teammate in Mitro. 64 total builds left.
Always see them doing this. They always split half and half match with one another, and then they go and collecting others. And it's just the perfect way of making sure that you guys have equal material.
Look at how weak Sap is. Sap just sneaking up through with that shadow bomb. The spray coming in from Mongrel. Stink bomb is hit as well. Everyone focusing these players on the outside. They've got the minigun firing too. The lobby now picking up quick as we move into our pit zone.
The storm is closing in, and that's going to be forcing everyone to get into where the safe zone is right now. It is moving in towards Pleasant Park. Guys, this is absolutely insane. 51 players still remain, by the way, in a circle this small. They're just trying to get as many limbs possible as people are rotating in.
Mitro on the bottom right of your screen with that minigun has 631 bullets. Just sprayed down with Mongrel in a fight. Gets one player weak, but does have to back on him.
Didn't get the clutch. Someone else stole the kill from him.
Mitro gets chucked as well.
Still have a launch pad, but again, when you're in a situation like this, low ground, they're getting sprayed with nothing but grenade launcher shots and frag grenades, and they're both going to be eliminated, and Mongrel also, sorry, Airwax just went down as well.
You see Cease in the elimination feed. Does look like, remember early on, Elevate did go down there.
That loot looks so delicious.
They go for it. Zane Sap, do they do it?
Do you go for the launch pad there and so many materials?
This is game-changing loot right now. They've got the builds to go for it if they want.
They're gonna do it.
They're gonna make the play.
A gold combat shotgun too, man.
Zane and Sap uncontested. That's one of those risk versus reward plays that can help set them up for 2 victory royales in a row.
Mongrel and Mitro's loot too, man.
Oh, that was
making a
and we know that was juicy loot.
They're making a statement saying, listen, we're from NA, we're here to play. Taking out the Evo, I didn't know they took them out, but they're definitely taking their loot.
Yeah, for sure, as they are still above the
So
storm
great
surge.
rotation items too. They both each have a launch pad, both have 2 shotgun grenades, and they're gonna go. He didn't get it though, they try to get both at the same time. Gonna be flying, and this is it, another massive rotation gonna be taken to the center of Pleasant Park. They're 167 damage above the threshold, so they're looking pretty good right now. The question is, are they gonna keep mid ground, go for low ground, high ground? What's the play?
They didn't get the full launch pad. He might have to use his own. Yes, he does again, and that actually works out. He hits his head on something, which takes him down from having to, fly all the way up and get beamed. They're going to challenge high ground right now. Zayt and Sap looking to do what many would think was impossible, which is win back-to-back games in the stack lobby. Just saw Falconer in the feed as well. Arkram with an elimination too. 19 duos left as we're moving towards the placement points, Ninja, and these duos know exactly that. 3 points if you make it in the top 15, which could be the difference between first and dead last.
What are they gonna do? Are they gonna prioritize rotation in and not taking damage, or are they gonna try to play it a little risky and go for the limbs? If you're gonna be going for a limbs, definitely open up to a lot of spray, shotgun shots, AR shots, someone suddenly taking the high ground on you. So it all depends on how their play style can unfold, man.
Many more duos remaining in this game, unlike the last one. Zayt with another elimination right there on a KBB. You got Snappy and Red Rush on the high ground, and Sap
Over the play, the high ground
goes to the high ground. Take, will he get it?
He's gonna get it, he has it.
Zayt's got high ground. Zayt has high ground as they go to try to push for 2 victory royales in a row. Sap is there as well, but Snappy just appeared right behind Sap and shotgunned him down right there.
Zayt right now is gonna have to concede to the high ground, giving it to Snappy. And he's just gonna have to stay alive as long as possible, try to get some placement points. He is obviously a talented player, top player. He can definitely make something happen, and I'm interested to see what he's gonna do.
Cease has been by himself since the first moment of this game when Elevate went down at 98 players remaining, and he's somehow still alive. There goes Mega. You've got Darox and Item on the low ground. Lorwyn getting chopped down as well. Zayt with about 100 HP. Uh-oh. Here comes Vinny and Zexro. They're trying to challenge for the high ground.
Keys right now being held in the storm with 5 limbs. He's gonna be eliminated from the back. Zayt taken down as well. Snappy still with the high ground. Zex and Vinny and TSM crew looking good, and they're gonna take it. They just took high ground. Snappy gave it to him.
And they just got the high ground. Great use of the shockwave as well. Vinny as well as Zexro on hype for the moment. 5 eliminations so far. They're putting their names in the hat for potential victory royale in this game.
Go down, right? They want those limbs.
Forward now with eliminations back to back. 4 players left in this one. Zexro and Vinny spraying from the high ground. It's a 2 versus 1. The player right on the edge of the zone. The shockwave into the air. And he's going to drop on down to hype for the moment. The spray coming on in. It's not enough. Zexro and Vinny.
TSM takes game 2 with style. Both alive. You love to see it.
the victory royale and 7 eliminations.
Look at that.
Vinny's hyped, and Zexro looks like
He was
they
stunned.
forgot his fries on a fast food order.
He was
Why am I
stunned,
thinking
man.
about food?
Oh my, Jack, it's pretty expected at this point. But God,
It's unreal.
2 NA teams have taken game 1 and game 2, and honestly, I think that we can all say that the teams hyped up the most have been easy. Guess what? That reminds me, I've been in this.
It's not going to be easy, not with a lobby like this. At this point in time, he's really just looking to play the keep away game. Maybe he can pick off a player with that heavy sniper, get an elimination for himself. They only have 1 point right now, and they're nowhere near getting the placement points currently. He's still looking to harass some players. Put some pressure on them. Now you see that half out circle, and it's 2 be inside of there. So everyone's going to have to start to move over to that east side. It's going to be a struggle for so many players. They're starting to make the moves right now. They want to try and gatekeep, prevent these players from getting inside.
This is a team you want to watch right now during this rotation. Mongraal and Mitro, they are masters at executing, especially when they have mobility like this to cut across the field. They are on the hunt right now, and there's no reason for them to rush. Once they spot out someone, they're gonna pounce. They're gonna jump on that target.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for you to make that mistake. And with the nerves at an all-time high here, players are certainly gonna make that error in judgment. Saw it happen in scrims when we were looking at players just getting warmed up. So much at stake here, but there's the launch pad. It's gonna go out now. Need to be wary of just get beamed in the sky. So many times you think that you're just going to be sailing away with no problem, not a care in the world, and then you just end up losing all of your shields, all of your HP, and then that's it. You're done.
I've seen it countless number of times. People tweet out, you fly across, you get taken out the sky, but it's all about timing. Neither Mitro nor Mongraal were shot once on that rotation, and it was masterfully done right there. And whoa, it looks like they're tracking so beautifully. Catches someone trying to just kind of rotate on by in the shadow bomb, but that was not enough.
You are not safe in the shadows there, buddy. Another thing, too, was that when they were out of position for a brief moment, the way that they were able to just get back together, right? That patience with one another, the communication, you need to have it when you're getting down to these final moments. 25 duos are going to still be standing here. You got Calculator and Macwood. They're going to have that high ground up above. In first place, if they keep this going, another dominant game for them, another high-placing game could be the difference maker to keep them in that first place position. Up on the high ground, Calculator and Macwood putting down shots yet again, not giving players any moment to be comfortable whatsoever. Look at the names that are here, though. The Rockets now starting to fly by Wolfies. Wolfies having to defend himself. Satan's going to be out of this one, so now it's going to be up to Saf. And Saf, he had to see his teammate go down, but his back's going to be to the storm there. Now looking at Mega, who's waiting this one out. He knows on the right side of the screen, you can see it down low, that these players, they're going to try and force their way into his box, so he has to play defense. He has to disengage. And there's Saf, who just lost his teammate safe. Now he's going to be running this one solo. And then up above, it's Macwood and Calculator. This whole time, they picked up 3 eliminations from that whole exchange, Monster.
That's exactly where you want to be. They're still putting this pressure down. And Zaf is looking for one, but it's Vinny who's going to take him out right there. So Vinny's going to find his first elimination, and he has so much health. He is in the game right now, although by himself because Zexro is down. And now Oslo, Bad Sniper, one of the few duos that are still left in this game right here. Arkham somehow, with a masterful rotation, he's still in as well. Bad Snipers at 11 eliminations with Oslo here.
Wow, unreal stuff. Bad Sniper is going to be out of this one. Macwood and Calculator still high ground on the mid, down below. Dubs and Mega, one of the premier duos here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Could they get the high ground and wrestle the control away from Calculator and Macwood? Oslo waiting for Vinny. You can see that engagement down low, but we got to focus on what's going on above here. Because Macwood and Calculator, they have their eyes on Dubs and Mega, and they do not want to give them that freedom to dictate where they want to go. They want to try and pinch them. Arkram just eliminated Vinny on that, and it's going to be Oslo and Arkram down low, but you're going to have a clash, a 2v2 in the high and in the mid ground, and Dubs and Mega feeling that pressure, needing to just dial back here, wait a minute, because I think what they're doing is that they're just trying to see if they're going to run out of builds. Actually, I mean, the play here certainly has just been defense, defense, defense.
Yes, that's right. Ozzo's now left by himself. All he has to do is time this firefight, so long as he doesn't bother them. But Dubs and Mega try to go for the high ground and make a fatal error. They fall to the low here, Golden Boy.
This isn't looking good there. Mega and Dubs, they have the low ground, the ultimate low ground. Ozzo's gonna be outside, but they get the elimination. Calculator and Macwood, they're holding the high ground, and that's the victory royale. Macwood pops off in game 3. 7 eliminations for him, 2 for Calculator.